Hi everybody, I'm Amor Maximo, and I'm just a random person trying to share how beautiful life is. Today is day one, day two, day three, fourth day of Galley Talks, the first virtual flight attendant conference. So if you're up for it, let's go. To most people, the galley is known as the kitchen in a ship or aircraft. But as for me, I'd like to believe that it's a memorable place for the crew. It is where we set up and prepare for service. It is a haven for personal time, and even a venue to solve emergencies. And if these galleys have ears, they have heard a lot of stories. Numerous cabin crew have shared personal and professional tales, records of happiness and sadness. They have given information and have expressed ideas and feelings, among many, many others. In relation to that, I decided to create an avenue for anyone to talk, for I believe that everyone has something to say, and all that we need is a venue wherein one can speak with people who are willing to listen. And we have that right here. With that being said, may I present Galley Talks, the first virtual flight attendant conference. It is where we have gathered 20 of your favorite flight attendant YouTube vloggers, wherein they will talk about different sides of being a flight attendant and various angles that can be seen in the airline industry. This event is brought to you by Amor Speaks in association with our social media partner, Fly High Manila. For our first speaker, he will be talking about proper time management. His YouTube handle is Fidel Jezrel Gido. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present FJ Gido.
Thank you so much, Amor. Can you hear me better? Okay, awesome. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first ever a flight attendant conference. And I'm so privileged that Amor contacted me to be one of the speakers of this conference. So I'm so privileged, and thank you, Amor. And I will give you a background about me. My name is Fidel Jezrel Gido, and you can call me FJ. So in my YouTube, I indicate there that it's cabin crew FJ. So I started my YouTube vlogging way back 2019, and um, during that time, I am just an employee with Convergys as a trainer. So I was with Convergys for almost 7 years as a trainer. And by God's grace, God gave me, the opportunity to be part of one of the airline industries here in the Philippines. And I am a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Information and Communications Technology at University of San Carlos. So if we have Carolinian out there, hello. And after which I pursued my Bachelor of Laws at University of or Southwestern University I was not able to finish my Bachelor of Laws just third year, and hopefully, Lord willing, soon I will be able to finish the same. So during my Bachelor of Laws and my during my college days, I already worked with Converges. Okay, so I worked during at night, and then I go to school during daytime. Okay, and after graduating my college, I took up law. And if you're going to take that degree, it's not easy. Okay, so it really needs it needs time management. Okay, so our topic today is about proper time management. So when Amor gave me the topic, um, you know, uh, for me, it's kind. I'm having hard time on how to discuss proper time management, and by God's grace, um, God gave me the experiences that I might be able to use in this conference, and I assure you that as one of the speakers here, I'm grateful that you joined this conference, because I assure you, after this conference, you will be able to learn a lot, okay? Especially on my topic. So when I was, you know, one of the trainers with Converges, um, my class or my trainees, uh, we are the top class for the entire class of the year. So what I can assure you right now, as as your speaker, is that I know how to transfer knowledge. Okay, so meaning, by the end of this topic, you will be able to master the proper time management. All right. So um, we know that all of us, you know, has its own 24 hours, okay? And, some people, they might be productive with that 24-hour period, okay? And some may not, okay? The secret of that success, of course, we have a lot of, if I'm going to ask you one by one, if I'm going to ask you what are the elements of success, so I'm pretty sure you have a lot of like different answers, okay? But right now, one of the answers I'm pretty sure is time management, okay? But the good thing about this topic is we are not talking about time management, but it's very like what do you call that? It's specific, okay? So Amor gave me not only a general like topic, but it's a very detailed topic because he included therein that it's a proper time management. Okay, so right now, what's in it for you? Why you should know proper time management? Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, um, we have 24 hours every day. Okay, and our goal is to be, of course, to be productive. Okay, and not only productive, but you have your goal on that specific day that you want to achieve. Okay, so our goal, why we are why you are joining this conference, why you are listening to proper time management, it's because you are going to master how to achieve, okay, how to achieve those tips and techniques to become successful, okay? Not only in your personal life, but also on your professional level, okay? So that's it. I want you to understand what's in it for me, FJ. Why should I listen to your topic, proper time management? Okay, so right now, you know the reason, of course. Um, you are all future cabin crew. Okay, and I assure you that this topic will help you to obtain that that dream. Okay. All right, let's start. So first of all, I'll give you a summary. We're going to tackle about what is the meaning of proper time management. Of course, we are going to tackle about not only meaning, but we are going to get the detailed parts of that meaning. Like we're going to check the elements. Okay, so if I say elements, it's like, for example, you're going to create a orange juice. Okay, if of course you're going to need water and orange and sugar. So if there is one missing ingredient, you cannot call that as an orange juice. Okay, so meaning all the elements or the ingredients are present therein. Okay, so right now we're going to tackle what are the elements of proper time management. Okay, number two is, of course, we're going to talk about the types or what are the practices of proper time management. All right. And lastly, I'm going to show you what are the ways for you to be able to achieve those types of time management. All right. So let's get the ball rolling. Um, is everyone fine? Can you hear me better? All right. Great. Perfect. 1 second. All right, so let's start. Let's first tackle what is proper time management. So I'm going to read to you the meaning of proper time management. So number one, it is a process of planning. Okay, a process of planning, performing a predetermined activities. Okay, so again, the process of planning, and then in performing predetermined activities. All right, and not only performing those activities, but there is a specific goal for you to be able to achieve that one. And if we're going to talk about goal, the time will, come in this specific area. So meaning you're going to perform those goals that you have in a specific period of time. All right. And of course, the reason why you are doing that is because you want um, to to increase, okay, to increase the result of your goal. Not only obtaining the goal, but of course, um, your goal is to be more productive. Okay, that's number one, to be more productive, to be more effective, and number three is to be more efficient. I'm sorry. Okay, 1 second. So let me recap. We are talking right now about proper time management, and I have mentioned to you the meaning of the same. So number one is the process of planning, and then number two in performing predetermined activities, of course, over a specific period of time. So there is a specific time for you to achieve that one. So it's not an unlimited time. All right. And number three, of course, with the goal of increasing your productivity, your effectiveness, and also your efficiency. All right. So if we're going to dissect the meaning, I want to highlight the important like verb on that meaning. So number one is planning. So PPI for you to remember it easily. So PPI, planning, performing, and increasing. All right. So I want you um, to seal those important keywords for you to be able to remember the proper time management definition. Okay, so once you have that definition by heart, you will be able to apply it properly. Okay, so I assure you that. So PPI, planning, performing, and increasing. All right. Um, in my class, I'm sorry. In my class, I'm always asking some questions before I will proceed to the next like stage or topic. But I'm not sure if Amor will allow me to ask some questions. It's fine. Okay. So I'm going to pick random names for N. Okay. Amor, can you give me a letter?
Letter M.
Letter M as in Mary. Okay. Who is Merrick Raisin? Merrick Raisin. Hi, Merrick. Can you
Wait,
hear
I'm
me?
outside.
I'm sorry.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Sorry. Wait, I'm outside. I'll catch up a bit later.
Okay. Um, I'll choose letter M. One moment. Marian Digoma. Marian Digoma. Sorry.
Hi, I think I'm in no position to join this.
Oh,
I'm just here
why,
to support
Marian?
Amor.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. So, Marian, before I will proceed to the next topic, um, I, I will be asking you random questions. I'm sorry, I forgot to set your expectations in my topic. I will be picking someone like to reinforce, meaning if I'm going to say reinforce, I will just do some uh, knowledge check, okay, before I will proceed to make sure that you were able to understand the topic uh, for you to be able to understand as well the next topic. So if you will not be able to get the first one, you will not be able to connect to the next topic. So Marian, my question is, can you give me those 3 points about proper time management that you were able to get?
Planning,
Very good.
um, performing,
Wow, good job. Very smart. And last,
increasing.
increasing. Uh,
Did I get it
oh,
correctly?
yes, very good. Correct. Correct. Good job. Good job. So you have a prize, Marianne. So I will message you later. Okay? Is that your
Okay.
name on Facebook, Marianne Digoma?
Yes, Marian de Goma,
Okay,
not de
perfect.
Goma.
So good job. Oh, the
De Goma.
Digoma. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. I'm sorry
Thank you.
in mispronouncing your last name. Thank you so much. Good job. So
Okay.
again, I'm going to reinforce that or proper time management. Number one, it's the process. It's the process of planning, performing a predetermined activities over a specific duration of time, and of course, the goal is to increase your productivity, your effectiveness, and also your efficiency. All right. So let's move on to um, so what are the like types of or what are the different views of time management? Okay, so I have research that we have two views of um, time management. So number one is linear time view, okay, and number two is multi-active time view. So I'm going to ask you questions, so please take note. Number one is linear time view, and then number two is multi-active time view. So let's talk about multi-active time views. I will give you an example. So for example, um, Amor and I, FJ. So for example, Amor is I'm going to forgive me, Amor, if I'm going to use her name as an example. Um, so we're going to set an example as Amor as a person who uses proper time management, but his, technique in doing proper time management is what we called multi-active time view. Okay. So example of multi-active time view is that that person, of course, has a plan or a list for the entire day or a schedule for the entire day, and then um, every every plan that Amor is listing on his notes is that he's going to you know is going to perform multitask. Okay, so meaning it's multitasking. He's not only doing one task, he's doing many tasks at a time. Okay, so it's close to multitasking, and we are all aware of what is multitasking. Okay, so that is what we call multi-active time view, which is a type of proper time management. If we're going to touch the second type, which is linear time view. For example, if my entire day is um, I'm I'm going to set, like, for example, I'm going to visit like SM MOA in 9 a.m. and then 10 p.m. I'm going to uh, visit my, like, for example, my uncle. And during that time, if I will go to SM MOA, I will make sure that the purpose why I visit there should I should be able to, like, achieve my purpose during the 1 hour period. Okay, but that is what we call a linear time view. So I will not mix any other appointment, but just pure visiting MOA, for example, to buy something. Okay, so that specific goal, if you will not add any task therein, that is what we called a linear time view. Okay, so I would like to highlight this two types because you are going to choose which one is more effective on your you know in doing a proper time management. So again, that's linear time view, and of course, second is multi-active time view. All right. So since all of you are future flight attendants, and I'm going to give you examples, of course, in my experience in the aircraft as a cabin crew. So number one, as a person, I usually do linear time view during my work. Or sometimes outside work, I'm also doing multi-active time view. But I will give you example because, of course, you future cabin crew, future flight attendants, um, you want to see or to take a glimpse of what we are doing in the aircraft. So of course, so we have. I'm going to bring you to a flight. So number one, I'm going to share to you what we do during boarding, and then number two, during in-flight, and of course, during landing. All right? So this example, of course, will show you if I'm doing a linear time view or a multi-active time view. All right. So let's start with, of course, a general rule with Cebu Pacific. If you are a cabin crew with Cebu Pacific, make sure, for example, your flight is 7 a.m. Okay. So general rule, 1 hour before 7 a.m., you should be present in Terminal 3 NAIA. All right. So the purpose why you should be there because they are they're going to do a very quick briefing. Okay, so number one, briefing. The purpose is the captain the first officer will conduct a very quick briefing regarding um, like time frame of the flight, and of course the what do you call that? Um, if there is a typhoon, so the captain will always inform us, and if there's any emergency, the captain will inform us where is our um like second option for landing. Okay, so it's very important that we should do that before flight. And not only that, the reason is the head cabin crew of that flight is going to check several several um, items or requirements, especially for example, if you were able to bring your extra uniform, your your flashlight. So if you lack those requirements, you cannot join the flight. Okay, so the job um, during that briefing is the head of the cabin crew will double check if everything is complete. Okay, so as a cabin crew, your job is you're going to prepare your things, uh, like like let's say like 8 hours before your flight. Okay, so you're going to check in your trolley if your flashlight is working, if you have extra uniform, extra dress for layover, and other things. Okay, so make sure that before you go to proceed for a flight, make sure that all your requirements are present in your trolley. Okay, so for me, what I'm doing is that 8 hours um, or 10 hours prior my duty, I already checked all my requirements like daily. Okay, I always check that daily. And if my flight is 7 a.m., so I will wake up like 4 a.m. I will prepare, and then like 2 hours before. And some of my cabin crew um, colleagues, especially girls, they are going to take a bath before they sleep, okay? Because take note, future cabin crew, Lord willing, if you will become a cabin crew, it's a very big no-no to go on duty if your hair is wet. Okay, so make sure that your hair is dry. But of course, the next topic, we are going to talk about grooming. Okay, so that will be discussed. So going back to our proper time management, um, so I really make sure that I will visit Naiya before 6 a.m. because general rule 1 hour before you should be present in Terminal 3. Okay, if you are late, take note, you cannot proceed to that specific flight. Okay, so the scheduling team will replace you. All right, so make sure that you will not be late. It's very crucial that you should be there like 30 minutes before 6 a.m. Okay, so the reason why you should be there because um, you should you know if you are the junior of that flight, you should prepare all the things needed for that flight. Okay, for example, I'm going to get the iPad. If you're familiar with POS, like Jollibee, they have a POS to enter their sales. And with Cebu Pacific, we are doing sales during in flight. So make sure that I'm going to get those iPad, those like prices for games because we have also games during in flight. So make sure that those senior or higher than you will not do that task. If you are the junior, so you should be proactive in obtaining those like things needed for the flight. So for you to be able to do that, of course, you are going to apply proper time management. Okay, so everything you do, if you're going to notice, it requires proper time management for you to be able to be productive, to increase your productivity, your effectiveness, and also your efficiency. Okay, and if we're going to move forward, you're going to proceed to the aircraft. Okay, so this is where the fun begins. Okay, so future um, flight attendants, I'm going to give you a glimpse that if we're going to enter the aircraft, we have duties, guys, like before flight. Okay, so what are those duties, FJ? So number one is we're going to check the emergency equipment. Okay, number two is we're going to check the safety equipments, and we're going to attend captain's needs, first officer, first officer's needs, and then, of course, we're going to do inventory. We're going um, to put like trash lines to our trash bins, and we're going to make sure that the lavatory, if we say lavatory, that's the aviation term for comfort room. Okay, so we're going to make sure that tissues are there and it's clean, it's dry. So as early as now, I want to set an expectation that if you will become a cabin crew or a flight attendant, you will be ready to clean comfort rooms or lavatory. Okay, and of course, not only that, you have a lot of things to do. Like you are going to heat up food. So if you are pre-ordered, if my flight is, for example, um, if my flight is an international flight, so you have to move quickly, okay? So before you enter the aircraft, you have to master by heart what are those tasks assigned to you, okay? So there are different roles as a cabin crew in the aircraft, all right? So if you will be assigned to the galley, you have a specific job for that one. So make sure that before you enter the aircraft, your mind should be focused, okay? Your mind should be focused on what to do first, what to do next, to make sure that you will be able to perform those duties in a specific period of time. And during boarding, guys, it only takes like 20 to 15 minutes. So make sure that you will act quickly so you will be able to perform those things. Okay, so it's not easy to become a flight attendant, I'll tell you. Okay, but it's rewarding. All right. Okay, so after boarding, so we're going to prepare for in flight. So of course you have to before the aircraft, you will make sure the safety of our passengers. So you have to be quick. You have to be you need to focus. So before entering the aircraft, guys, you have to prepare your mind, presence of mind, focus, and make sure that you will not miss anything. Okay. So um, I am doing a what we call linear time view. If you notice, first is I check I I check the emergency equipments. Okay, I will make sure they are complete, they are not expired, and then after that, I will turn on the boiler. And while it's heating, I'm going to check the lavatory to make sure it's complete, it's dry and clean, it smells good. And then number three, I'm going to ask captain or first officer what if they need coffee, and I'm going to provide them their needs as well. And after which, I'm going to do um, I'm going to do an inventory of our items for selling. And if you notice, I will make sure that I will be able to do those tasks at a time. Okay, I'm not doing multitasking. I make sure that I will be able to perform a specific task in a specific period of time and before I will proceed to the next task. And that is a best example of a linear time view. All right. And then after, um, during in flight, of course, we are going to do like do selling, and after which we're going to do like games for the specific flight. So you um your duty should be programmed in your heart and in your mind already. Okay. Um. So this is a very good like a very good reminder for you future cabin crew that if you will become one uh, in God's perfect time, so you have to to bring that in your pocket always, that you have to master those duties that you are going to perform during boarding, in flight, and during landing. All right. And to make a summary, since I already gave you the best example for a linear time view, um, for me, for me the most effective type of proper time management that works for me is the linear time view. All right. So I'm going to show you an example on how to like on how to do proper time management. Of course, number one, you have to grab, for example, you can use your phone, you can use your calendar, and then you are going to create a specific like task or goal for that day. And then you're going to put a specific time frame for that goal, and make sure that you are going to arrange those those tasks on your list. Okay. And my advice also, make sure that you will be able to prioritize wisely what are the tasks that you need to perform first. Okay. And then, of course, you have to organize yourself. And the very important thing is you have to eliminate procrastination. So you have to stop procrastination. Okay. So it's very important that if you're going to set goals, that you will be able to achieve those goals in a timely manner. And at the end of the day, you should check. Okay, so you have to check those goals if you were able to perform them or not. So you have to do a check up all the time. All right. So going back, um, if you're by God's grace, our company did a or sent a blast email to all cabin crew in Cebu Pacific last year, and our manager like asked us who is like the um, the best cabin crew that na nakalipad nila, na nakatrabaho nila during flight. Okay, so after that last email, after a few months, our manager contacted me that, uh, hey FJ, I'm calling you right now because I want to inform you that you were able to obtain the most um, like votes for for the cabin crew champion. So when I heard that, I of course I'm overwhelmed, and of course I did not expect that I will be chosen as the cabin crew champion last year. Of course, it's all by God's grace. Okay, and prior to that cabin crew champion award, um, I was able to get like um, what do a commentation from our head cabin crew of the flight, and I was able to get um, two commentations from our head cabin crew. And guys, if you are future flight attendants, it's not easy to obtain commentations from your head cabin crew during that flight. Okay, so um, by God's grace, I'm so amazed that my when I received my first commendation, my my cabin crew head or the head cabin crew emailed our manager and informed me about my performance during that flight. And I'm so amazed, and I have replied to our manager that I will be more consistent on what I am doing. So by God's grace, after a few months, I received another commendation from a different head cabin crew. And for me, I'm so grateful because as a new cabin crew, you know, by God's grace, of course, you know, you are just new with the company, and then you were able to obtain those commendations right away. So I am not bragging, but I want to highlight the grace of God. Okay, I want to highlight the wisdom that God gave me for me to obtain those commendations. Okay, for me to obtain those awards, and of course I was able to obtain them. Of course, one of the elements of that success is time or proper time management. Okay. And after a few months, they sent an email blast to look for a cabin crew champion. And of course, I did not expect as a new cabin crew with Cebu Pacific, um, our manager contacted me that I was chosen as the cabin crew champion last year. So I assure you, if you're going to apply the proper time management, you will obtain success. Okay, so I'm going to close this topic. Um, I'm going to give you a quick recap today. We are able to learn the the meaning of proper time management, the elements of proper time management, and then number two, you were able to understand the benefits of applying that skill. Okay, it's a skill. And number three, if you're going to apply that, you will obtain success. All right. So I give back all the glory to our God the Father. Thank you so much for listening, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
She will talk about from leading flights to leading in flight. Her YouTube handle is CJ deGuia. And may I present, ladies and gentlemen, Miss CJ deGuia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Wow,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. And hello to all future flight attendants. First of all, I would like to greet everyone a happy new year. And what a great way to start your 2021. I'm so happy and excited to see all of you. Of course, Amor, thank you for inviting me to be one of the speakers of this very exciting event. You know what? During when Amor asked me to be one of the speakers, I was hesitant to accept his invitation because after not flying for 5 months, I really don't feel confident at all because I also feel sad about what's happening in our industry and how badly affected we all are. I'm pretty sure we all feel the same. And that's why I'm so happy na despite the pandemic, at alam natin na ang airline industry is not really in a good shape right now. It chose to be here and hear our stories. Because of you guys, I realized that I made a good decision by saying yes to Amor and yes to inspire and to simply be a friend. So thank you everyone for taking that single step by joining this conference. You guys inspired me to do better, kaya maraming salamat. So, during the start of the quarantine, I decided to be on leave and spend time with my family and with my daughter and my husband. Yung live without pay yun, guys, ha, yung leave na yon. Because I thought it will only last for a month. So I was happy, of course, during the first month. And that's the only good reason to remember this pandemic, yung pagsuspend ko ng time with my family. Because after flying for 11 years straight, I finally have all the time in the world. I was happy during the first month, but when the company started letting go of crew, I was really heartbroken. Seeing their Facebook post, saying goodbye and saying thank you to the airline who accepted them, and saying thank you to the 5J people, it made my heart break into pieces. That's why that's when I realized that things are getting worse. And I flew with some of them kasi. And I remember this flight with Amel. We were together for 4 days. And since it was a domestic layover, that was also my first vlog with mini cabin crew interview. That was her second day flying, and she was a former ground agent. And because of her guts and a lot of prayer, she became a cabin crew. I saw how happy she was that day. And then COVID came. It breaks my heart even more knowing how hurt and painful it is for her and for all the crew that the company needs to let go. But still, I'm happy to have been part of her short and sweet flying career. Despite that, I didn't hear any bad words from her and the others. She accepted it and she keeps moving forward. That was her choice to accept the reality and move forward. Although Amel is not a lead cabin crew, she became a true leader by leading her life towards her goal. For me, she's an inspiration. Actually, all of them who are still fighting, who are still hoping that one day makakabalik sila. I will always remember their stories and all the things that I've learned from them. So going back to my story, when June came, we started mounting flights and I decided to get my wings back since I super miss flying. I finally got the chance to fly last July 2020. Of course, before I fly, I already have my expectations in mind kasi nakita ko na sa mga Facebook posts like wearing of PPEs, gloves, face shield, alcohol everywhere. But the reality when I was inside the cabin, it was very different and I feel so sad to see our industry really struggling just to survive. That moment, I really wished I could turn back time. But in reality, we have to accept and move forward. So after my July flight, I decided to rest my wings, pero temporary lang naman. Because I feel like I need to reflect and rebuild myself. Besides, being a purser was never easy. I need to be on my 100% again to fulfill my duties and responsibilities. And you know what? When I started flying, I thought that a purser or lead position, whether domestic or international, well, just to enlighten everyone, in our airline, we have two kinds of purser. One is lead cabin crew for domestic, and the other one is lead cabin crew for international. If you are an LCCD, you can only lead a domestic flight. But if you are an LCCI or lead cabin crew international, you can lead both domestic and international flights. So I thought that the lead has the easiest job in the cabin. Bakit nga ba? Only because you are the most senior and you can just tell your crew to do this and do that. Yun lang yung akala ko. That's what I thought. But my seniors, at least most of them, were nothing like that. They taught me so many things I never learned inside the classroom. And eventually, after 6 months of flying, I became a lead for domestic flight. And slowly, I realized that it was the opposite. The lead position is no easy job. In fact, when the airline asked for crew to apply for LCCI or purser position, I declined. I knew I wasn't ready at that time, and I feel like I need to learn more as an LCCD. So when the right time came, and I feel like it was the right time, I applied and got the position. I have so many learnings and I had to keep my mind and my heart open because every day we meet new people from flight deck crew to cabin crew to mechanics to ground agents to passengers. And at first, it was hard for me to really depend on my crew, especially when using big aircraft. And because, as the lead of the flight, you are basically in charge of everything, accountable in every single thing. I was really struggling because as the purser, I want to make sure that all procedures are properly followed. I was very paranoid because I want our flight to be perfect. But you know what I learned over the years? That I can fully trust them when I know that I have their respect. Because when they respect you, they will also trust your leadership. And how do I gain their respect? Simple lang. It's by respecting them first. Respect begets respect, diba? At para sa akin, yun yung isa sa pinaka-importanting natutunan ko, not just as a purser, but as a cabin crew. That leadership without respect is weak. Of course, I don't want my colleagues to follow me because of fear, but because I inspire them. You see, everything will start from you as the leader. And since you are the lead, there is nothing wrong if you acknowledge them first, junior man yan or senior. And that's why during the briefing, I have to set the mood. I don't want them to be scared. Instead, I want them to feel that I am no senior, that we are in the same boat, because we really are. Whatever knowledge I have, they also have that. The only thing that I have that they don't have yet is my experience. And when you use your experience to teach others, to help others, and to inspire others, they will respect you as their leader. And fact yun, based on my experience. And you know what? As a mom and as a wife, respect is also part of our daily lives. It's important, especially if you're married or you're in a relationship, because love without respect is weak. Ayan, nandito na tayo sa love. Kasi love can easily break if you don't respect your partner. That's why I am very thankful to my job because of that one lesson. Ganun pala talaga kaimportante na marunong tayo rumispeto ng mga kapwa natin at ng mga halaga at mahal natin. Kasi when love and respect comes together, the great chance of creating good and happy memories. And those happy memories, those happy moments that you were able to create, whether with your job or with your partner, those are priceless. And it makes your love vibrant, alive, and unbreakable. Kaya ang goal dapat, guys, is not to have a perfect job. Kasi being a flight attendant may look perfect, but it's definitely not. And I wouldn't dare mention kung ano-ano yan sa dami ng mga articles and videos about that. For sure, you already have the idea, which I think is good. Kasi you are here as an aspirant. I'm pretty sure marami na kayong nabasa about the imperfections. But still, I'm happy to still see you here despite of that. At one day, pag naging cabin crew na kayo, then nalaman nyo na all the imperfections after a few months of flying, then you are in the right place if you feel happy. Keep in mind that your airline is just a small part on how you would feel about the flight attendant job. Whether you work in a local airline like me or in a five-star airline. If you give it the right amount of love and respect, then this job will pay you back and make you happy. No amount of money can give you that satisfaction and fulfillment. Promise, wala. As in, yung satisfaction and fulfillment na maibibigay sa inyo ng flight attendant job, if you're happy, if you are contented, sobrang wala talaga. And as the lead, never expect everyone to like you or your leadership. Natutunan ko din noon that criticisms can help you a lot if you take it constructively. Pero minsan may mga criticisms na mahirap tanggapin. But when you think about it, those negative comments can actually help you to be better. You just have to be strong and accept them and learn from them. When you fly and you are the lead, some crew may become your friends, even outside work, even after work. Some may also hate you. naisip ko rin at natutunan ko rin na being friends or close to everyone should never be your goal as the leader. Honestly, during my first few months as LCCI, that was my way of leading. Guilty ako dyan. But, I realized as the leader, my goal is to fulfill my duties and responsibilities and not to please my crew members. So now I have my boundaries, I have limitations. Pero minsan, lumalagpas pa rin tayo sa limit natin. And I must admit, I'm not the nicest person you will ever meet, just in case magkalipad tayo someday. But sure ko na I never ask my crew to do something I won't. So if I ask them to check the cabin every 10 minutes, I'll be the first one to do that. If I ask them to check the lavatory, clean the lavatory every 5 minutes, I'll be the first one to do that, and then they will follow. I'm not a perfect leader. Wala naman sigurong perfect, no? But when my crew shows appreciation for the things that they learned during our flight, I feel very happy and fulfilled. This job also made me stronger and to have a positive outlook in life. Hindi naman din siya nangyari overnight. I had to experience so many things to get to where I am right now. I remember receiving a message from my mom just before boarding, nasa loob na ako ng aircraft, that my cousin is dying and he was only 12. I wanted to stop and deplane, but how? I have to fulfill my duties. Sabi nga nila, di ba, the show must go on. I remember a passenger cursing because the flight was delayed, and it wasn't even my flight to begin with. I had so many medical emergencies. I had to skip Christmas, New Year, birthdays, anniversaries, and all the other special occasions. But despite all that, I am still here, fighting and still loving my airline. And that is my choice. You know what? In life, we are given choices. When something's not going right, you have the right to feel bad or sad. But the next day will be your choice. Should I stop being a cabin crew because I don't like flight delays? Should I stop being a mom because my daughter doesn't want to take a bath? Or should I stop being a wife because my husband is so messy? You have to make the choice because the world won't stop from spinning just because you're feeling sad or bad about something. And me, I don't like wasting time. That's why I always choose to be happy and positive. And now in every flight, aside from my 3S, which is safety, security, and service, our priority. I think that's every airline's priority. My goal is to inspire and motivate, if not all my crew members, at least one of them. I remember my crew once told me, Miss, parang everyday nag-e-enjoy ka pa din, no? Kahit ang tagal mo na. When they said that, I realized how blessed I am because I am exactly where God wants me to be. I want to share with you my story before I became a cabin crew. When I was in college, I used to go to Baclaran Church every Wednesday. I will pray to Him to please help me and guide me to reach my dream. And I was dreaming to be an international flight attendant. But I also told him that I wouldn't mind being a local cabin crew. Just bring me to a place where I can be genuinely happy. A month before I finished my final exams in college, I went to 5J office just to submit my resume. To be honest, I only did that just to have an idea on how to apply so I can do better when I apply in the future, maybe after my graduation. In short, I was ready to fail as I was ready to fly. In my mind kasi, whether they accept me or not, I can still apply over and over. But God has His own ways of surprising us. I didn't know that on that day, He will give me the answer to my prayer. Hindi ko talaga in-expect that I will get the job on my first application. Kaya naman, sobrang teary-eye talaga ako habang naglalakad ako sa domestic road, nag-aabang ako ng Gido. I will never forget that day. Alam nyo guys, my story may be different from your story. Di ba nga, we have different timeline, but know that we have the same goal and your time will come. Just keep your head up. So, after 6 months of flying, I went to IPAMS to fulfill my dream. to be an international flight attendant. But I was out after the first screening because I was underage. I was only 20 at that time. But another surprise from him came. At 21, I got pregnant. So I said I will just go back when I reach 22 kasi nga 22 is the age limit when you apply before sa mga airline in the Middle East. So at 21, I got pregnant and everything changed. My priorities, my responsibilities, everything. So I asked myself, should I leave and follow my dream or should I stay? Then I remembered my prayer. I remember I asked God to bring me to a place where I can be genuinely happy. So I chose to stay and be with my family without giving up my career. For me, now I have the best of both worlds, family and career. My dream to be an international flight attendant is still my dream, but this is my choice and I am happy. Sabi nga nila, diba, your life, your choice. But I always believe that He will guide you. That's why you have to be the leader of your own life. You have to make choices. And sometimes life can be so hard and cruel. There are times that God will bring us to darkness, but that's only for us to see the light. And as a leader myself, I wish that you will always choose to be strong and positive, and above all, always choose happiness. That's all, guys.
May I introduce our next speaker? May I reintroduce our next speaker? She will talk about Flight Attendant Grooming 101. Her YouTube handle is HeyyJanine. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Janine Santarina.
Hi! Can you guys hear me okay? Malinaw? Malinaw naman?
Yes, yes.
Okay?
Yes, pa.
So sorry. I'm so sorry for earlier. Medyo nagkaroon tayo ng technical difficulties. But I'm glad I'm already here. Once again, my name is Janine. I am from AirAsia X, former cabin crew. I've been flying for 5 years already doon. Sa Malaysia ako nakabase. So for those of you who don't know AirAsia X, maybe familiar kayo sa AirAsia, which is here, based here, which is before it was AirAsia Z or something like that. But for AirAsia X, we fly long-haul flights. Usually we fly to Australia, Japan, Korea, Saudi, ganyan. So yun yung mga flights namin before. And my YouTube channel naman, I was known for doing the content of cabin crew series. I don't know if any one of you here is a subscriber, but I've been doing the cabin crew series. Thank you, Amor. I've been doing the cabin crew series for since 2016, I think 2016 or 17, and then actually 3 years na ako not flying anymore. I'm not flying anymore. But I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Amor, for inviting me. Kahit na hindi na ako flying. But I was actually known for the first video that I did na sobrang talagang nagulat ako kasi ganun pala kadami yung aspirants. Hindi ko inakala kasi you guys are so lucky na ngayon may mga ganito na. I was telling that to Amor before when we were talking na sabi ko ang swerte ng mga aspirants ngayon kasi they were able to get this kind of conference or talk. Kasi during our time, 2013, walang ganito. So talagang kanya-kanyang kanyang sariling sikap So we have to research ganyan. And to be honest with you guys, when I was applying, I wasn't prepared at all. So talagang hindi talaga ako prepared. Kasi the day before lang ako nag-update ng CV ko and all. So talagang super lucky nyo. And let's all give a round of applause to Amor for for doing this. Sobrang thankful ako sa'yo din for inviting me here. Ayun. Tapos meron akong konting kodigo dito guys. Kasi yung time, medyo madaldal din kasi ako. So, hindi ko alam kung baka mamaya masobrahan tayo sa time. So, Amor, just let me know kung kailangan ko na mag-stop. Ayun. So, I said earlier na meron ako nung mga cabin crew series ko. So doon sa mga most of my videos are about makeup, and hence our topic for today is about grooming. So usually I upload get ready with me videos, ganyan. So and yun nga, since yung video na mas kilala ako is the one that's I'm getting ready for work, which was also uploaded sa Cosmopolitan and all. So doon nag-start talaga yung YouTube career ko. So doon ako napaisip na, oy, okay pala tong career na to. So I decided to continue it, and then nag-upload na rin ako ng kung ano ng videos about being a flight attendant, yung mga um, day in the life, yung mga ganyan. So, ayun, I'm just so glad to be ano ba, parang hindi ko masabi na inspiration niyo ako, pero thank you so much dun sa mga nagsasabi na nai-inspire namin kayong mga vloggers or FA vloggers in a way na alam niyo yun, na kahit papano nabibigyan namin kayo ng inspiration. And know that we are so grateful na nandyan kayo for us, to support us, and to listen to what we are trying to share with you, ganyan yung mga knowledge namin. Iba-iba kami ng airlines, pero iba-iba rin kami ng opinions and all, pero isa lang talaga ang goal namin, to inspire and to share what the knowledge that we have about flying. Ayun. So, dami ko na sinabi, di ba? Sabi sa'yo, madaldal ako eh. Yun, di pa tayo nagsisimula sa mismong topic. But, okay. So, for the grooming 101, ayan, alam nyo, guys, we are actually considered as frontliners, di ba? Kasi, of course, we're facing the passengers, ganyan. So, we have to look presentable every time. So, actually ngayon, kasi nagmamask na, di ba? Tsaka tama ba? Wala na ako masyadong update sa ngayon. Pero nakita ko sa mga friends ko na mga flying ngayon, meron silang mask, meron silang PPE, meron silang, what do you call that? Yung face shield, ganyan. So, siguro, parang hindi na siya masyadong ngayon kasi, syempre, naka-makeup ka, tapos naka-mask ka, medyo magulo yun. At saka hindi na nagli-lipstick ata yung mga ibang crew. But, actually, super important niya, not only for the makeup, kasi grooming is not only itong face natin, but also the whole body from top to toe. Yun ang kailangan natin i-consider if you are an aspirant. So, kailangan, let's start with facial care. So, maraming, sa mga past videos ko, maraming nagsasabi na marami silang problema sa skin nila, and what they call this, yung hindi nila alam kung anong type of skin they have. Meron kasing oily, meron dry, meron normal or dry and oily, ganyan. So, you just have to, hindi mo naman kailangan mag-skincare all over, di ba? Meron kasi ibang tao na kahit hindi sila mag-skincare, maganda pa rin yung face nila. So, sana all, di ba? Pero yun nga, there are people na sobrang biniyayaan ng magandang cuties. Pero yung sa mga hindi, there are a lot of skincare products that you could use. Pero don't overuse. Yun lang yung advice ko, kasi may mga times na kapag nasobrahan yung paglalagay niyo sa inyong mga face, mas magre-react siya. So, let us take care of our skin. Actually, ang advice ko sa skincare is, do not overuse. Ako before, ganun ginagawa ko. Ang dami kong ginagamit na skincare product. Actually, working naman yung iba. Pero kasi, depende rin yun sa lifestyle mo, sa kinakain mo. And also, you have to really balance it. And more importantly, mag-water kayo. So, yun talaga yung pinaka-importante. Para stay hydrated dahil sa aeroplano, dry. Diba? Yes, super dry doon. So, lagi kayong mag-water. Yun yung sinasabi palagi. Cliche, I know, sinasabi nila na drink 8 glasses of water a day. Pero, tumanda na ako, tsaka ko lang siya na-realize na importante pala siya. So, yun ang ating for the facial care. And sa sa makeup, actually, if you are a subscriber of mine, meron akong kinonduct na makeup class before, way back in 2018, I think. Meron akong Flight Attendant Aspirant makeup class. I did that because I was able to gather a few Hey Fam. By the way, I call my subscribers Hey Fam. Ayun, nag-gather ko sila. I think they were like 20 or 30 people na talagang nag-attend sila. And then, the common question that they asked me is about the makeup products that they use. So, meron kasing makeup products na essential, meron ding optional. So, you don't have to buy expensive makeup para mas maging pack na pack yung makeup nyo. Pero, maraming, lalo na ngayon, sobrang daming options sa mga sa local brands, which is I'm super happy because syempre hindi na ako flying. And dati nung flying ako, syempre nakakabili pa ako ng yung mga usual ko na ginagamit. But now I just use whatever there is here sa sa market natin sa Philippines. So Watson, sobrang dami diyan. And ayun, so yung sinasabi natin na optional and essentials. I'll be talking about I'll be talking about it step by step. First yung primer. That is optional. Primer is for you to be able to what do you call this? Make your makeup last longer. Usually, natutunan ko na lang yun nung flying ako kasi yung flight nga namin, long haul flight. So, I need to wear something na mag-stay longer sa face ko. So, but that one is optional. Actually, advisable lang siya for oily skin. Kasi ang oily skin types, mas mabilis maghulas yung makeup nila kesa sa mga dry and normal skin. So, yun. If you're, I suggest if mayroon kang oily skin type, use primer. So, pwede siyang spray. Merong mga spray, may mga liquid types. Meron tayong mga, like, parang, cream. Yung mga ganong type. So, it depends. Marami na rin sa local market niyan ngayon, which I'm super happy again because napakamura na niya. So, and after nun, wait lang. Ayun, for the foundation naman, guys. Marami rin nagtatanong sa akin na do I have to buy something expensive for my foundation? Ang tip ko naman doon ay if you will invest something sa inyong makeup collection, that would be foundation. Kasi yun yung mas magtatagal sa face nyo. Yun yung base eh. Yun yung base ng yung face, which I think is mas importante siya na hindi kayo masyadong mag-touch up kasi minsan sa flight busy, wala na kayong time mag-retouch, ganyan. So, pero hindi ko naman siya like sinasabi na kailangan bumili kayo ng super expensive na foundation, but know what brand or what type of foundation that works for you. Kasi iba-iba nga tayong skin type. Meron tayong mga liquid foundation, powder, mga ganyan. And magbasa kayo ng mga reviews. Yun yung super importante talaga. Kasi ang foundation medyo may kamahalan kasi talaga yan. So, kung ayaw nyo masayang yung money nyo, before you buy the product, you have to research about it. Not only the foundation, actually everything na inyong gustong bilhin. You have to, ayan, sa YouTube, marami ng, baka naman sa, sa channel ko. Diba? Maraming, ang tawag dito, maraming reviews online. So, you can check that out. So, pag may narinig kayo sa mga influencer or ganyan na sinabi nila maganda, maybe that works for them, but not for you. So, you have to like really read first before you purchase the item because it's not cheap. Actually, ang foundation, nag-range siya, local brands dito sa Philippines. Nag-range siya from 300, that is like so type of foundation, up to maybe 500, 600. So yun, kailangan nyo lang talaga siyang alamin, i-review kung ano yung mga okay, at yung hindi. So ayun, ayan, foundation is essential guys ha. Kasi yan yung natin, yan yung base natin. So ayun. And next is for the concealer, kung meron kayong mga acne marks, ganyan. Usually, yun din yung mga tinatanong sa akin, what shade of concealer should you use? So, yung concealer na yon, it doesn't have to be lighter than your skin. Because, if it's lighter, ang mangyayari niya, magmumukha kayong, ano ba? Ano ang tawag doon? Yung para kang, pagka nag-sunbathing ka, tapos naka-shades ka. Yung maiiwan yung nandito sa may part na to. So, you have to make it, maybe, shade lighter than your own skin tone or much better kasi shade din nung skin tone nyo para pag pimple marks kasi meron akong pimple mark ngayon, hindi lang halata kasi meron dyan. Pero much better kung gagamitan nyo ng ganon para hindi siya masyadong halata. Kasi sa mga hiring, usually, pagpasok mo pa lang sa panel or minsan kasi panel, di ba, yung interview panel, marami sila. Or minsan, isa lang, ganyan. Pero unang-unang titignan talaga sa yung mukha. Kasi face-to-face interview, talagang tititigan ka nila. I don't know if other airlines are like that, but mine, talagang, sila, parang tinititigan ka na talaga mabuti from head to toe, actually. Pero mas nag-focus sila sa face nyo, yung smile nyo, ganyan. Doon sila, so kung hanggat maaari kaya natin itago ang ating mga chismis sa mukha, itago natin yan. Para alam niyo yun, ang parang requirement ata is fair complexion, tama ba? May ganon, di ba? May ganong requirement sa ibang airlines. So medyo, may ibang airlines kasi talaga na super strict sila sa ganong mga, what do you call this? Acne marks. Meron talaga. So, ayun. So, concealer foundation is an essential. So, as eyebrows, yung brows natin, and yung lips. So, for the lips, I suggest do not use nude color lipstick sa mga hiring. Use something that would stand out. Huwag naman yung super shocking pink, mga ganon. Pero, like, anything that would suit you. For example, ako, morena ako. Pero favorite ko kasi talaga yung red. So, red ako. The one thing that I like about using red lipsticks are, like, they make my teeth whiter. Yun ang maganda. Pag nag-smile ka, talagang bongga yung smile mo. And then, like, peach type of lipstick. Peach, red, and pink. Something like that. But not super bright, not super shocking kind of peach and pink. May mga ganun kasi. So, yung mga yan, I suggest, again, invest something on long-lasting type of lipstick. Yun yung mapapatagal. Minsan ang hiring, tumatagal yan ng mga full day talaga. So, kailangan, although pwede namang mag-retouch, pero alam niyo yun, syempre, mas maganda pa rin yung alam nyo sa sarili nyo na pag bigla kayong tinawag, prepared kayo. If you don't have time to retouch, di ba? Kung walang time, biglang, yung number mo na or this applicant, ganyan-ganyan. You have to go, but so prepared ka. Diba? So, yun. And for the eyeshadow, ito yung pinaka-complicated sa lahat. Kasi not all aspiring flight attendants are, syempre, nagsimula ka pa lang. Wala ka pang knowledge about, like, doing your, ako rin nun eh. Actually, noon, hindi ko rin alam mag-blending ng kulay, ganyan. So, the safest thing to do is to get an eyeshadow palette that has neutral colors. Neutral colors will be the best option for you to use during the interviews, mga ganyan, mga application, mga actually pati sa flight. So, if you are not really good at doing your makeup yet, hindi pa kayo masyado nakapag-practice, ganyan, I suggest use neutral colors. You'll never go wrong with those. As in, kahit gamitin nyo lang yung finger nyo, paglagay ng ganyan, isang color or dalawa, you're good to go. That's actually, pero usin nyo naman yung mga side-side, ganyan. Pero yun, wag lang super dark brown. You will look like you have like, dark, what do you call it? Upper eye, imbis na under eye, upper eye. So, yun yung mga importante, and blush on. Huwag tayo masyadong galit sa blush on, mga girls. Ha? Okay lang yung that will suit your skin type. If you have fair skin, you can use pink because that will make you stand out. And if you are morena, peach color, or any dark, not so dark, but dark red and all. So ayun. For the men, for the guys naman, no. May mga nakakapansin din na sabi nila, nagpa-foundation ba yung mga lalaki or naglalagay ba sila ng concealer, ganyan. Actually, it depends. Ganun din. Kung sa babae, sana all binigayaan ng magandang skin. Tingnan nyo naman si Amor. Diba? Ang ganda-ganda ng skin. Pero, for the guys, mostly, at least for our airline, they do not require for you to wear makeup, ganyan, or like may BB cream ba yung tao? BB cream, ganyan. Pero usually they do. Kasi yun nga, hulas-hulas sa makeup ay sa flight, lalo na pag long haul, ganyan. Pero hindi naman required, parang tsaka hindi rin siya hindi pwede. Kumbaga, okay lang siya, pero it's really up to you. I don't know with other airlines, but for us, okay lang. Wag lang yung super naman. Talagang mas makapal pa sa babae yung mas makapal pa sa foundation ng babae yung paglagay niyo. So, ayun lang. For the guys, for the skincare din, usually, di ba, ang guys, mas prone sila sa mga acne, ganyan. So, ang suggest ko lang is for you not to put too many chemicals on your face, lalo na yung mga facial wash na super strong. I suggest use something that suits for Asian skin. May iba kasi na, iba yung mga ibang US brands. Yun talaga yung same with the girls. If you use the skincare product, huwag kayo gagamit masyado ng mga yung malalakas yung chemical. Kasi sa US, iba kasi yung skin type nila eh. So, mas sila, mas makapal, mas matibay yung kanilang mga mukha kaysa sa atin. Sa atin, sensitive talaga tayo. Naturally, we have sensitive skin. So, I suggest you use something mild and not too strong. Kasi pag strong, mas lalabas yung ating mga marks, ating mga mukha. And we don't like that because that's one of the top priority ng ating mga nag-hire. Yun, sa yung complexion ng inyong skin. And then, we'll go to the hair. Sa hair, actually, ako, I'm super happy and lucky na sa AirAsia, hindi naman required mag-ban. Super, kasi hindi ako, ang laki ng mukha ko, guys. So, depende talaga yan sa, kaya ngayon nakaganito. Sa application or during the hiring, it really depends on what is written doon sa application like yung mga pinopost sa online. It depends. Actually minsan mas mas specific na sila ngayon kung anong gusto nilang gawin nyo sa inyong hair and all. So, speaking for my previous airline, they do not require super neat hair. Pwede kayo mag-curl, pwede kayo mag-lugay, pwede short hair, pwede colored hair, pwede huwag naman yung shocking color hair, yung mga natural color hair lang, no? But yeah, but I suggest go for something neat. I remember when I applied, I was just think pinlansya ko lang yung hair kong ganyan. Or curl ata. Basta, plansya lang siya, tapos naka-ganyan lang ako. Tapos basta malinis siya tignan, basta kita lang yung face nyo, kasi yun yung pinaka-importante. Dapat your hair is away from your face so that they could see how beautiful you are. And, syempre, lagi kayo nakasmile. Ganyan. And for the guys naman, for the guys, neat, of course. Yun ako, personally, I feel mas malakas yung dating ng lalaki kapag neat yung cut ng hair. Like the side. Ayan. Tulad yan. Oh. Si Amor, kita niyo ba? Lahat na lang siya. Sana all. Pero yun, like that. So, super, kahit naman saan, kahit hindi lang naman sa hiring ng like, flight attendant, hindi lang doon. Sa lahat naman ng gusto niyong pasukan na airline, na work or job, kailangan talaga yung presentable yung hair. No ang long hair, as in no talaga. And ano pa ba? Sorry, hinahabol ko kasi yung oras. May oras pa ba ako? How many more minutes do I have? 30 more? Really? Okay. So, for other airlines, ayun, like what I said earlier, yung meron silang specific na gusto sa hair nyo, like naka-hair bun, kailangan talagang super neat ng hair. And actually, ito I'm gonna tell you a secret. Sa AirAsia, wow, hindi naman to super, super importante, pero hindi pwede ang bun. Wala kayong makikitang AirAsia crew na naka-bun. Hindi siya pwede. Pwede lang, pagka gusto niyo yung hair, like hair up, ang pwede lang is French twist. Which, never ko ata nagawa in my whole flying life. Pero, yun lang. Pero ang weird, no? Kasi, bun is like the most common hairstyle for flight attendants. Pero sa amin, hindi pwede yun. Alam niyo yun, pinipetition na nga siya ng mga Filipino crew sa amin doon sa AirAsia dati. Pinipetition siya na pwede po bang mag-ban kami or di kaya hair tie ng kahit ano na. Kasi ang hirap ng French twist kasi. Mahirap yun. Para sa amin, hindi siya common. Kasi sa Malaysia, like airlines na Malaysian Airlines, yun talaga yung, yun talaga yung SOP nila for the hair. Kailangan naka-French twist. Yun lang. Walang iba. French twist lang. So, sa kanila common yung ganong hairstyle. But here in the Philippines, common sa atin yung hair bun. Which is for me, mas maganda siyang tignan kasi mas malinis. Diba? So, pero sa mga katulad ko na kailangan itago ang ating kailangan nakaluloy ang hair. So, pwede na din. And for the nails, ayan. Ang nails is very important because we're handling food. Pag nag-aabot tayo ng food sa passenger, makikita nila, syempre nakatingin sila si aabot nyo, makikita nila yung nails nyo. So, you make sure na kung gusto nyo pahabain, like this long, I don't know if you can see that, you have to make sure na it's clean inside. And, or kung hindi kayo confident, pudpudin nyo na lang. Pwede naman yun. Mas maganda yun. Much better because you don't have to think about like chipping your nail polish or, kasi sa Galley, sa kitchen. Galley is kitchen. Sa Galley, pag naggaganon ka ng mga locks, yung mga latch ba yung tawag doon? Nga ako? Paki-remind ako. Tama ba? I still remember. Yun. Pagka nagaganon ka, minsan, pag mamadali ka, ganyan ka na lang. Hindi mo na mamalayan na baliyan ka na pala ng nail, di ba? So, madalas akong ganun kasi madalas din ako maghaba ng nails before. Tapos may color. So, ang color is will depend on the airline as well. They have, meron silang mga SOP din sa ganyan. Sa amin, we can't wear something that's too bright, too nude. Kailangan either French tip, red, or like, yung parang peach color, ganun. Hindi ko alam kung bakit gano'n, pero ako mostly kasi red talaga yung ginagamit kasi yun lang talaga yung feeling ko bagay din sa uniform namin. Pero like, siyempre, obviously, hindi din pwede yung mga colored nail polish like purple, blue. Yan din ang no-no sa sa hiring. Mas kung ayaw yung ma-okray, wag na lang kayo mag-nail polish, girls. Mag-ano na lang kayo. Mag-put na lang kayo ng kuko. So as guys, sa guys din most especially. Sometimes kasi like sa interview, they will ask you to read something, tama ba? May papabasa sa inyo. Syempre hawak-hawak niyo yung leaflet na yun or like the booklet. Bilang observant ng ating mga mga nag-hire, kailangan malinis yung buko nyo. Ako personally, kung ako yung nag-hire, talagang obserbahan talaga kita mula hanggang paa. Kasi syempre, parang ikaw yung magiging frontliner ng airline namin. So we have to know if you are if you're qualified not only sa iyong pagsasalita, sa iyong galaw, but also sa iyong physical appearance. Kasi you will face our passengers and you have to have that it factor. Masyado naman pang starstruck. Artista yan. Pero yun, kailangan kasi talaga presentable ka talaga. Malinis kang tignan. And for the attire I suggest do not wear super colorful type of blouse for girls. Safest is white, blue, light pink, yung mga light pastel colors. Ganyan. So, pero ako, suot ko ata ng black. Naka-black ako noon. Kasi nga hindi ko alam. Wala nakalagay dun sa hiring, ang nakalagay lang doon, where, actually, ang suot ko noon ata, smart casual, hindi casual talaga. Hindi ako naka-blazer. Sa totoo lang, kasi wala talaga akong idea kung ano yung mga kailangan. And dun sa hiring, walang nakalagay na kailangan naka-blazer. Pero, I know sa Philippine Airlines, super specific sila, di ba? Sa gusto nilang attire ng kanilang applicants. Nakalagay doon, kailangan blazer, kailangan isuot mo na blouse. Hindi siya walang sleeve masyado, tama, di ba? And then, yung mga stockings nyo, minsan mayroong airline na kailangan wala kang stockings because they check your legs as well. So as the length of your skirt, it should be like above or below the knee. May mga ganong airline. So actually, depende talaga. So if I were you, if you're planning to apply for an airline, you have to read properly. Mas okay na yung sinunod nyo yun kesa kayo yung pagdating nyo dun, ay, ganun pala dapat. So, mas okay yung sinunod nyo agad kung ano yung nakasulat dun sa guidelines nila instead of just going with what you think is best for you. Look, ganun pa rin actually. You have to pick what looks good on you, pero you have to follow the guidelines. Yun yung pinaka-important. So, meron ba ako na-miss? Ito pala. Last one. Wala talaga ba? Last one na? For since kanina pala, nakalimutan ko kasi, yung sa eyeshadow, di ba sabi ko? For the mascara naman. For the lashes. Kasi there are girls who don't have like yung masyadong mahabang lashes. So they were asking me before na, paano po, short lang yung lashes ko, paano siya mapapa-appear? So, it's optional to wear fake lashes or yung eyelash extensions. Pero kasi extensions, kasi parang ano na yun ngayon eh. Yun yung uso ngayon, di ba? Yung parang matagal na siyang nasa mo. But, it's optional. Pero ako personally, I don't really suggest you to wear that during the hiring. Because, like what I said earlier, matagal ang hiring process. And if hindi ka comfortable first time mo maglagay ng false eyelashes, it's gonna, I don't know, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I mean, I've been there. Ayaw nyo, hindi siya okay talaga. Pero if I were you, talagang sobrang ganunin nyo na lang ng eyelash curler yung pelik mata nyo, and then wear something that is waterproof and yung nakakapagpa-volume ng inyong eyelashes. Kasi dun siya talaga, totoo to may mga advertisement ng mga mascara na sabi nila pag nilagay mo madadagdagan daw yung buhok ng ng mata nyo. That is true. Merong mga ganong may mga ganong mascaras. Meron talaga. So, nagulat. So, ayun, I prefer you go for that instead of, the eyelash, fake lashes, because it can fall off. And you don't like to, pagharap nyo na yung interviewer, hindi mo gugustuhin na gumaganon-ganon falsies mo habang kausap ka niya. Sobrang nakakahiya. Pero nangyari kasi sa akin yun. Sa akin nangyari kasi yun. So, ayoko mangyari sa inyo, guys. So, I suggest, ako, yun lang sa akin. Pero sa inyo pa din yung kung expert naman na kayo talaga maglagay ng kung Mighty Bad Boy nilalagay niya sa inyong mga fake lashes, so okay na rin yun. Pero for me, it's a no-no. So, ayun. And, ano pa ba? Meron pa ba akong na-miss? Wala na ata. So, ayun lang. Ang ako lang, for me, you don't have to spend too much money on makeup. Especially now that we have so many options. Alam nyo guys, sobrang swerte nyo talaga ngayong panahon na to, ha? Kasi dati talagang, walang mga ganyang, there's no wide range of like this kind of makeup that we have right now. Before, I have to, buy something kasi kahit expensive siya, alam niyo yun, hindi, kasi wala akong ibang choice. Kailangan, yun yung sinasabi nila, okay, yun yung bibilin ko, which thankfully, nag-work naman sa akin kasi kung hindi, I spent that much money and, hindi rin kasi ako talaga before nag-research talaga. Kaya, yun ang super big advice ko to each and every one of you na, like, I think I've said this before din sa aking channel, na you don't have to spend too much money or invest on makeup that much. Siguro, for the first few years, for the first year of your flying, siguro ganon, okay lang. Pero, sa mga next flying nyo, tsaka nyo lang siya, trial and error kasi ang makeup girls and guys. It's something that you have to get used to first before you know kung ano yung staple nyo. Ako, 2 years ko bago nalaman kung ano yung talagang, 2 years ko nalaman 2 years ko, 2 years, 2 years bago ko nalaman kung ano yung nag-work sa akin. Sa 5 years na flying ko, 2 years doon, talagang mega bili ang ate nyo ng makeup. So, doon ako, doon Okay, so, ayun. So, like what I said earlier, paki-sign signalan na lang ako. Like what I said earlier, yun nga. So, 2 years bago ko na-discover kung ano talaga yung nag-work for me. So, it doesn't matter if yung sa inyo hindi nag-work agad, it's okay. Because, yun nga, trial and error siya. And, talagang, may times talaga na mapapagastos tayo dyan dahil importante kasi talaga siya. I just don't know now. Ngayon, sa panahon natin ngayon, I don't know how long this will last, but I hope it will, soon. But it's something that you have to not really prioritize sa inyong spending. But bigyan nyo pa rin ng effort. Siyempre, frontliner yung ating a-applyan or ano. So, you have to really look presentable. Ayun. So, ano pa ba? I think that's it. I think that's it for my side. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But thank you so much for listening sa aking kadaldala. Ang daldal ko, di ba? But yeah, should I plug my... Can I? Yeah. So if you guys are not following me yet, I'm on YouTube. it's HeyyJanine. Ayan, kung ano yung aking username here sa Zoom. That's HeyyJanine. And for for all the social media accounts, it's HeyyJanine. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can follow me, subscribe. And I have a business at the moment. So maybe nagtataka kayo kung hindi na ako flying, ano yung ginagawa ko. So now I am a business owner. I do design and printing. I'm a graphic designer as well at the moment. And yun, nagpiprint ako. I do stationery products. Also, if you guys are interested, you can follow my online shop. It's at Thursday morning. It's the Thursday morning PH on Instagram. Yeah. Yun lang. Thank you guys so much for your time and for participating dito sa talk na to. Really, we are glad and na natutulungan namin kayo kahit papano. And to those who are an aspirant flight attendant, para sa inyo guys, this is such a challenging time for us, not only dun sa ating mga current flight attendants and most especially ngayon sa ating mga aspirants, but do not lose hope. Everything will be okay. Let us always remember that. And just, keep on praying. Napaka-importanteng pagdasal natin ng situation natin ngayon, most especially doon sa mga super affected nitong nangyayari sa atin ngayon sa COVID and everything. So talagang ang airline, it's something that we actually need sa buhay natin yan, kaya hindi yan pwedeng mawala. So kapit lang tayo guys. There's always, sabi nga nila, di ba? We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So we just always pray and huwag kayong mawala ng pag-asa kasi the moment you lose hope on something that you really like, dun na mawawala yung self-confidence nyo. And also, just remember, if fly high, but keep your feet on the ground. Yan lang. Thank you so much!
It's a nice end, no? Kung paano natin sinimulan ng dami iba't ibang story about being a flight attendant. And she's gonna talk about, is being a flight attendant worth it? Her YouTube handle is Annizah Camid. And ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Annizah Camid.
Hi there! Kumusta kayo lahat dyan? Magandang araw sa lahat ng mga kasama sa conference na to, sa mga kapwa ko flight attendants, at syempre sa mga aspiring flight attendants. My name is Annizah Camid. I am a premium cabin attendant at an airline in the Middle East for 6 years. Well, basically, a premium cabin attendant is a cabin crew who works in the first class and business class. Okay, the moment you are watching this video, I am already on my way to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So I had to record this at nakakalungkot lang na hindi tayo makakapag-interact, hindi ko kayo makaka-interact. So if ever you have a question, well, feel free to message me on Facebook. Just search my name. Very unique naman ang name ko kaya madali nyo lang ako mahanap. And hopefully, I will be able to answer your question when time permits. But today, I will be answering one question. Only one question that many would think it's just a simple question that can be answered easily. But it is not. The question is, wow, parang nasa Q&A lang tayo ng beauty pageant, no? And then, ang question ay, is being a flight attendant worth it? O, diba? Answerable by yes or no lang. Pero bakit kailangan ko pa siyang i-elaborate? That is because I would like to take this in a realistic way. Sa true lang tayo, diba? Sabi nga nila. So, I would like to make this conversation as casual as it can be. Kaya naman, like, I'm just having a chit-chat with my friends at kayo yun, at sa ating mga aspirants. I will be your Ate Annizah who gives advices sa inyo. Ayan. I believe this question could be very subjective. Kaya naman, I would like to clearly point out that this is from my perspective, and my experience could be completely different from the experience of other flight attendants here. Ang dami kong sinabi, no? Ang dami kong sinabi. Okay, sagutin na natin. Ito na talaga. Is being a flight attendant worth it? Imagine this. Floating above the clouds and viewing tourist spots. These are only two of the best things of being a flight attendant. The chance to meet people and see beautiful sceneries is the reason why flight attendants are considered to be lucky. Kaya naman, napakaraming gustong makuha tong trabahong ito, di ba? Napakarami din na nag-a-admire sa mga flight attendants. Pero, there is an overlooked aspect of being a flight attendant that should be equally admired. The service. The commitment and the required perseverance ensure the safety and comfort of the passengers. Pero alam nyo, the pictures that we post on Facebook and Instagram in different countries, taken in different countries, mapa New York man yan, Paris, sa France, sa London, o kung saan man yan, these are all marvelous. But our dedication to continuous training and service is astounding. But here's the thing. Long-haul flights become less glamorous. Serving fancy dishes to the first-class passengers become boring. Serving food and beverages to the hundreds of passengers in the economy and business class become exhausting. And so, I was challenged to answer this question, is being a flight attendant really worth it? My answer is simple and concise. Yes, it is worth it. Many people may think, how come it is worth it when this well-composed flight attendants are just average men and women who crave for enough sleep and proper food? Ganyan talaga kasi kami. Kaya nyo sabihin na parte na ng trabaho nyo yan. Sanay naman kayo na walang tulog, sanay naman kayo sa puyat, pero hindi pa rin siya healthy kasi upside down yung sleeping pattern namin. And one more thing, we missed a lot of special days, special occasions. Maaaring wala kami sa Pasko, sa New Year's, sa Eid, sa birthday ni Mama, sa debut ng kapatid mo. Hindi nga uso sa amin yung holidays and weekends eh. Then, my answer for this question is no longer simple. A dream looks glamorous when we are achieving that dream. But when a dream becomes reality, the glam and shine might not be that bright. It's like, suddenly, the beautiful scenery of our dream turns into a bigger portrait of our dream tainted by reality. Imagine nyo na lang ha. Imagine nyo yung isang portrait ng isang magandang babae. Nakatingin lang tayo kung saan nakatutok yung spotlight. At hindi natin binigyang pansin yung background niya. We did not notice how chaotic the background is. This leads us to asking, how is a dream worth it when it is not what we thought it would be? The answer is, a picture can only be beautiful depending on where you look. But a picture can only be beautiful if you refuse to face the truth. Being a flight attendant is just like any other profession. It is not an easy task. Let me share my story with you. This is about my first ever flight dito sa airline namin. First ever flight ko. Ayan. It was a domestic flight that was after the training, the graduation, and the line check. So ako, first day, made-deploy na. Very glamorous, feeling glamorous sa aking uniform. Nag-expect ako na magkakatok ako sa aisle kasama ng cart ko at magtatanong ako sa pasahero ng, ma'am, may I offer you coffee or perhaps tea? Ayun. Nagawa ko naman yon. Nakapag-catwalk naman ako sa aisle at nakapag-serve naman ako ng coffee and tea. Pero Pero, ang hindi ko ine-expect, doon sa position ko, may nakatoka sa aking banyo or yung tinatawag naming lavatory sa aeroplano. Tinawag ako ng isang pasahero na galing sa lavatory. Sabi niya, barado daw ang sink. So, si ate nyo FA na fresh pa ang memories, galing training, alam na ang gagawin kapag clogged ang sink. Basta may ginagawa lang yun sa ilalim ng ng sink. Pumasok ako sa lavatory, nakita ko, barado ang lababo dahil may nagsuka. Ginawa ko na may procedure para mawala yung pagkabara ng lababo. Pero syempre, as a courtesy sa aming pasahero, sa aming guests, kailangan ko pa rin linisin yung lababo. So, kumuha ko ng gloves. Tapos, tinanggal ko yung mga suka. Siyempre, may mga solid-solid doon, di ba? So ako, napaisip ako bilang bata pa ako noon at arty-arty, walang kamuwang-muwang sa mundo ng aviation. Sabi ko, parte pa ba ng trabaho ko to? Pero ginawa ko pa rin. As a cabin crew, I refuse to glamorize my career and show you its beautiful aspects only. And yet, I will always tell you that being a flight attendant is worth it. Because I choose to see its worth. Beyond the headaches, the backaches, the sleepless nights, and the unstable sleeping schedule, I still have so much respect for this work, for my work. My relationship with work is not filled with love. There is frustration, there is stress, and there is uncertainty as I continuously serve my passengers and ensure their safety. But looking back, I have gained so many memories and values that are irreplaceable. Okay, flying. Hindi yung literal na flying ng mga ibon, ha? Flying is not a usual activity unless you are a cabin crew or a cockpit crew. I have seen so many passengers na first time nilang makasakay ng eroplano. Meron pa nga akong nakikita mga pasahero na sobrang takot sila kapag umaalog na yung eroplano. Yun yung tinatawag naming turbulence. Turbulence? Okay. Meron din mga pasahero na hindi marunong mag-seatbelt. Meron din akong nakitang mga pasahero na hindi alam paano buksan yung pintuan ng lavatory. And yes, we have the frequent flyers. They always fly with us. May mga tipong pasahero namin sila today, tapos bukas, pasahero namin ulit. Meron pa nga akong na-encounter, actually maraming beses, na-encounter ko na pasahero na domestic lang naman, na bababa siya sa airport na yon, may kukunin lang sa labas, and then papasok ulit ng airport, mag-check-in at sasakay ulit sa same aeroplano kasama kami pabalik dun sa pinanggalingan namin. So, same faces lang. These frequent flyers, yes, they always travel. Pero during their off time lang. Kaya naman, whether you are a first-timer, first time mo sumakay ng aeroplano o lagi kang sumasakay ng aeroplano, sa aming mga cabin crew, to be able to be part of that experience, masasabi namin na this job is worth it. Ano pa ba? Free ticket? Yes. You can travel anywhere for free. May ID-90 na tinatawag pa. Staying at a 5-star hotel. Okay? But there are so much more than this. Like the humility, the respect, the discipline, and the sense of responsibility. These are only few of the values that have been strengthened by my work. At sobrang blessed ako doon. Any dream is not what it seems when it becomes a reality. But to fulfill that reality and see its beauty is already an achievement in itself. Remember, reaching your dream is simply the beginning. There will be hopeless times in your profession, and then there will be times when you feel fulfilled and satisfied. Those are the times that make everything worth it. So, whether they are good or bad aspects of being a flight attendant, I choose to keep them with me. I choose to embrace it for what it is. Parang medyo paiyak na ako dun. Everything starts with a desire, goal, and a dream. And then we take countless of steps to reach what our hearts yearn for. And then once we have them in our hands, I advise you, do not let go. Being a flight attendant is exhausting, but the experience of flying in a plane, serving and meeting people, and seeing beautiful places all over the world with different stories and memories, dun ko masasabi na worth itong trabahong to. And so my last advice for you, which I have learned, soar high, always and forever, in whatever shapes and form, until the end of time. Again, this is Annizah Camid, Flight Attendant at your service. Char lang! Vlog na vlog talaga eh, no? Nako, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Sana may natutunan kayo sa naibahagi kong salita sa inyo. Salita? Ano ba yan? At sana next time, hindi na ganitong klaseng conference na virtual lang. Sana magkita-kita tayo sa personal para naman mas intimate ba yung bonding natin, hindi ba? Ayun lang, maraming salamat at mag-iingat kayo and Happy New Year!
And let's go on to the fourth speaker of the day. And she's going to talk about pursuing your passion. Her YouTube handle is Nicolette Ambulo. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, may I present Nicolette Ambulo.
Hi everyone. Naririnig niyo ba ako, guys? Okay, so a little introduction lang. Thank you, Sir Amor. So guys, I am Nicolette Erica Ambulo. You can call me Colette. And for 5 years already, I've been a flight attendant flying with Philippine Airlines. I am actually a mixed crew. So bale, I fly domestic flights ng Philippine Airlines and also their international routes. And then I graduated from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, with
Wow, UPD!
with a bachelor's degree in elementary education, teaching in the early grades. So basically, I am a licensed preschool teacher. So my topic for today, guys, is pursuing your passion. So let us define passion. What is passion? So according to Google, syempre ni-research ko, diba? It's any powerful emotion or feeling or desire. So in short, something na gustong-gusto mo siyang gawin or i-achieve in life. Yun ang passion mo. So kung ako ang tatanungin nyo, guys, what is my passion in life? Tatlo lang yun. My passion is to serve, to perform, and to always give my 100% in everything that I do. So very important yun, guys. Tapos, a little background story, guys. Let's go back nung college days ko. Nung college days ko, I was actually part of our university's cheerleading team. So, UP Pep Squad. Noong time na yon, medyo bata-bata pa ako, diba? Marami akong natutunan nung sumali ako dun sa team na yon. Coming from an all-girl private high school, pagpasok ko sa isang state university, which is UP, mamumulat ka talaga na ang dami pala talagang klaseng mga tao. So doon natuto akong mag-adjust and mag-adapt sa mga tao, sa mga nakakahalubilo ko. And yung pag-adjust na yun and pag-adapt na yun, nadala ko rin siya into flying. Bakit? Sa flying, guys, it's not all the time na makakalipad mo pare-parehas ng set ng tao. So every flight namin, we shuffle eh. So you really need to adjust doon sa mga kalipad mo. 'Di ba? And you really have to adapt doon sa nature. Also doon sa mga pasahero mo, hindi lahat yan mababait. So kailangan marunong ka mag-adapt kung paano mo sila kakausapin, yung mga ganon. Number 2 na natutunan ko while I was in college as a cheerleader is good communication skills. Very important din na marunong kang mag-communicate with other people. Not only in cheerleading, kasi alam niyo naman, sa cheerleading, it's a team sport. Hindi ka nag-iisa doon. Ganun din siya sa flying. Meron kang mga kasamang ibang mga tao. So, kailangan marunong kang makihalubilo, kausapin sila, and mag-communicate. For example, in case of emergency, 'di ba? Kailangan alam mo kung paano mo i-communicate sa purser mo, sa piloto, or sa ibang crew, kung ano na yung nangyayari na emergency dun sa, kunwari sa area mo. Ganon. Also sa passengers, you have to have good communication skills with your passengers kasi through communicating with them, doon mo ma-establish yung, what do you call this? Yung connection ba with your passenger. Kasi we are frontliners nga. So tayo talaga ang gagawa ng connection or minsan repair. Kung kunwari, galit na galit sila, delayed sila. So tayo, ang gagawin natin dyan is service recovery lang. So always smile, talk to them. Tapos, hanapan nyo ng butas kung paano sila pasasayahin ulit, di ba? So, yun. Another thing is responsibility. Maging responsible. In cheerleading, we have different responsibility or what do you call this? We have different roles. Minsan, merong bases, flyers, may mga spotters. So, iba-ibang roles yan. In flying, meron din. Kunwari lang, guys, kayo ang Junjun sa flight. Meaning, kayo ang pinaka-junior sa flight. You have a certain role as a Junjun. And as a Junjun, syempre, kailangan, lagi kang handa, lagi kang alert. Kasi syempre, you have to know, you have to assume your duties as well. So, yun, kailangan yung magiging responsible ka, yung mga responsibility mo. And last, natutunan ko is, kailangan mo talaga mag-put in ng hard work. Very, very important ang hard work. Hindi lang pwedeng kapetiks-petiks ka lang, ganyan. Like in cheerleading, it's not overnight we learn a certain skill. Bakit ngayon makakatumbling ka na agad? Sabihin ko lang, tumambling ka na. Hindi, di ba? You have to practice over and over again. You have to put in the hard work. Ganun din with flying. Yung application mo, yung pagpapamaintain ng skin mo, pagpapaganda mo, yung communication skills mo, yung kailangan mo i-practice yan. Eto pa, when you get into training, the initial basic training, guys, I'm gonna be frank with you, it's really, really, really challenging. As in, it's really difficult. Speaking from my airline, medyo, kung gano'n ako nag-aral, and gano'n ako hardworking, mag-review, sumagot ng exam, maging bibo. Nung high school at college ako, baka valedictorian na ako, gumraduate. Pero dito sa, sa training, as a cabin crew, mahirap talaga siya. It's really hard work. Pero going back, if it's your passion, it's your goal to be a flight attendant, syempre, you're gonna exert 100% or pwede more than 100%, di ba? Para ma-achieve yung goal na yun. So, going back to cheerleading, they have 3 main roles, di ba? Which is the bases, the flyers, and the spotters. Yung tatlo na yun, they always work together, di ba? To achieve the routine flawlessly. So, they all complement each other. Ganun din in life. In life, guys, I have 3 quotes or motto na I always live by. Number 1, you attract what you are. I am a firm believer of the law of attraction. You attract what you are. But at the same time, di lang pwedeng maniwala ka lang. You always have to put in the hard work as well. Siyempre, isipin mo na you have to take your own action in order to achieve that, di ba? So, gusto mo maging flight attendant. So, mag-wish ka, put out mo sa universe, I want to be a flight attendant. But what is your first step in being a flight attendant? Siyempre, do your research. Diba? Ano ba ang mga kailangan mong gawin in order ma-impress sa'yo yung mga panel kapag, kunwari, nag-apply ka sa AirAsia, sa Cebu Pacific, sa PAL, or sa international airline. Kasi, kung saan ka mang airline mo gusto mag-apply, iba-iba yung mga hinahanap nila. Hindi yan general. So you have to research on that. Number 2, na quote I always live by is to always keep a positive mindset. Siyempre, there will be challenges. Or minsan, kunwari, kayo mga aspirants, minsan meron talaga at your first interview, hindi talaga matatanggap. Meron talagang mga ganun. I'm gonna share you a short story. Meron akong actually batchmate nung initial training. And siya, 5 times siyang nag-apply sa PAL. So isipin nyo guys, 5 beses siya, 4 na beses siyang nireject. And sa pang-5, dun pa lang siya nabigyan ng chance na mag-continue sa training. So, ibig sabihin nun, always keep a positive mindset, di ba? Try and try hanggang sa ma-achieve nyo yung gusto nyong ma-achieve. Huwag kayo mawalan kagad ng huwag kayo mawalan ng gana or masasad. Okay lang, i-acknowledge nyo, kunwari, hindi kayo natanggap, acknowledge nyo, sige, damdamin nyo. Pero after nyo damdamin yun, you move forward. You research again, you study, saan ba ako nagkamali, saan ba ako nagkulang, ano bang kailangan kong gawin ulit para mas ma-impress sila sa akin. Yun, you keep a positive mindset. And last, always give 100% on everything that you do. Very important yun, guys. Kahit sabihin yung, kagaya ko, minsan sa flight, di mo kasi talaga makokontrol. Minsan meron kang ibang kalipad na, sige, chill lang sila or tatamad-tamad sila. Pero wag kang papadala dun. Always do your 100%. Kasi at the end of the day, you will know kung meron mang mangyari or what, or may reklamo man yung ibang pasahero. At least ikaw, alam mo sa sarili mo na, hindi ako yun kasi ginawa ko yung buo ko. I did my 100%. I served them well. I gave them a smile. Diba? So, always give 100% in everything that you do. Ganon din actually sa training, guys. Sa training, minsan, everyday, mahirap nga kasi yung training. So, sa training, guys, almost everyday kami may exams. Tapos, ang taas ng passing rate, as in, parang 90% ata ang passing rate. So, ako, ang ginagawa ko lang, I'll try my best to study, memorize. Also, every morning, sa class, sali ako dun sa group review namin bago mag-exam. Do everything that you can, except for cheating, syempre. Do everything that you can to absorb everything. Do your 100% in training. Pabibo kayo, mag-volunteer kayo. Ayan, pakita nyo yung mga skills nyo. And for sure, at the long run, magiging worth it lahat yun. So, to close my, bilis, no? To close my my speech, I will share with you guys my, shortcut na, yung short journey ko on being a flight attendant. So, noong 2015, guys, I was a fresh graduate. And then, wala talaga actually sa plano ko. Honestly, wala sa plano ko na maging isang flight attendant. So in short, by accident ako naging isang flight attendant. Nung time na yon, since fresh graduate ako, I was looking for a job. Ayoko mabakante. Gusto ko magtrabaho na ako agad. So yung resume ko, kung saan ko pinasa. Isa doon, pinasa ko siya sa PAL. So pagkapasa ko sa PAL, after a month, I got a call na meron daw akong interview. So I went to the interview. Sinundan ko lang yung mga requirements na kailangang itsura. Going there, wala akong research kasi hindi talaga ako naghanda. Hindi ko sure kung ano yung i-expect ko. Pero syempre, andun yung kaba, 'di ba? Going there, I just did my best. Yun lang. Kasi innate siguro sa atin, kahit di natin aminin, innate sa atin na maging competitive. So, di man natin aminin, di ba? Parang competitive ka talaga eh. Siyempre, ayaw mo mapahiya. Gusto mo ipakita yung best mo. Kahit sabihin ko aminin ko na wala talaga sa plano ko maging flight attendant. Siyempre, papabibo na rin ako, di ba? Kasi ayoko namang lumabas doon na, oh my God, I didn't do my best, tas ayan, di ako natanggap. Siyempre, 100% din tayo doon. So, dun sa interview, guys, napansin nila, ang liit ko. Kasi kung di nyo alam guys, ang height ko actually, under height talaga ako. Parang mga 5'2" lang ako or 5'2 and a half kung may daya. Maliit. O same daw, si HeyyJanine, maliit din siya. So, yung mga under height dyan na girls, huwag kayo kagad mawawalan din ng pag-asa. Kasi, kaya natin yan. Itaas natin yung bandila ng mga short girls, di ba? So, ayan. So, nung in-interview na ako, in-introduce ko yung sarili ko. Ako unang tinawag kasi Ambulo, so letter A. Ako unang tinawag. So, sa harap ng maraming tao, nagsalita ako, kung ano lang sinabi ko, nagpakitang gilas ako, yun na. And then after nun, thank God, nakapasa dun sa first initial interview na yun, pinapunta na kami sa medical. Sa initial medical, ayan na, magkakaalaman na tayo sa initial medical. Yung height, nung mineasure nung nurse, sabi niya, under height ka. Paano to? Tapos sabi ko, oh my gosh, wag naman po sana sa height, di ba? Sayang naman po. Ano po pwede natin gawin? Tapos sabi nung nurse, reach test. So nag-reach test ako. Ayan, ipina-reach niya. Naabot ko naman yung reach test. So buti na lang. Pero parang dun sa height ko pa rin, ginawa pa rin niya akong 5'2 and a half. Kasi yun ata yung minimum that time. Parang binabaan nila nung time na yun eh. Yun pa rin yung ginawa niya sa akin. So, ayun. To cut the fast forward tayo, training na. So, nakapasa na ako, nasa training na ako. Guys, training was really, really hard. I live from Quezon City. Training was in Padre Faura, Manila. So, every day, nagko-commute lang ako. So, nagtitrain. Every morning, train ako. Then, pag uwi, it's either magtitrain, magbabus, or mag-UV Express para mas mabilis makauwi. So, ayan. Ayoko kasi mag-drive kasi nakakatamad. Tsaka yung traffic, di ba? At least yun, kung magko-commit lang ako, I can rest dun, nakaupo lang ako. So, every day, sinaga ako talaga yun na mag-commute every morning. Ang routine ko nun, morning, parang 5:30 gising. Tapos, by 6, kailangan makasakay na ako ng train para at least 7. Nandun na ako sa Padre Faura, sa PLC. Then doon, magre-review ako. Sasali ako sa mga group review namin ng mga classmates ko. And then after nun, exams. Tapos pagkatapos niyan, yung iba, syempre, ako, sobrang stress ako nun kasi may pagka-perfectionist. Ayoko talaga, kinakabahan ako na hindi pumasa. Ayoko nang hindi ako papasa sa exam. So I make sure na before ako mag-exam, ito yung dasal ko. Kasi may set A, set B yan sa mga exam. Hindi yan pare-pares na exam. So, mahirap din kumopya, di ba? Walang kopyahan talaga. So, lagi kong dinadasal is yung set na mapupunta sa akin. Is yun yung familiar ako. Or yun yung alam ko. Gets nyo? Yun yung kumbaga yung aral na aral ako. Yun yung lagi ko hiningi na. Yung set na makuha kong exam, alam ko talaga. So, after that, kapag pumapasa, okay. Pagkatapos ng training, mag-end siya ng mga 4 or 5 rush hour. Uwi na. Wala akong pake. Pag uwi ko, tanggal ako ng mga yung jewelry, tago lahat sa bag. Pagsakay ko ng either bus, UV, or train, tulog. Pahinga yan. Pagdating ng bahay, review, tulog. Tas gano'n na naman yung routine. So, I think that was 2 months of hard work na chinaga ko talaga na pabalik-balik ako. And ang hinihingi ko lang naman is matapos ko yung training. Hindi ko hiningi na matapos in flying colors. Bonus na lang kung matapos ko with flying colors yung training. Pero, thank God, natapos ko siya. Gumraduate ako with Best in Check Ride and also valedictorian valedictorian of the class. So, bonus na lang din yun na ganun yung nangyari. So, with hard work, guys, kaya nyo rin i-achieve yun. Akalain nyo, lahat ng mga batchmates ko nagulat din kasi with a short girl, nakagaya ko, na nakapasa, di ba, na at first, kung titignan mo lang physically, parang, paano siya magiging flight attendant? Height pa lang, di ba, maliit. So, yan. Yung moral of the story lang, lesson of the story, guys, never give up. If you have a goal in mind, ako, at first, hindi ko goal talaga maging flight attendant. But I learned to love it, my job, di ba? So, never give up. If you have a goal in life, maliit man yan o malaki, kayang-kaya niyo achieve yan. Basta make sure to put in the hard work. Huwag kayong give up na lang basta-basta. Kasi, for sure, maraming sacrifices, maraming challenges. Hindi mawawala yan. Diyan talaga yan. Pero, always remember na yung mga challenges na yan, binigay yan sa atin kasi kaya natin yan lagpasan. And once nalagpasan natin yan, marami tayong natutunan, lessons learned, di ba? So, part talaga yan for us to grow and for us to improve then for ourselves. So, ayun. So, strive for success. Always give your 100%. Stay positive and never give up. So, ayan. Tapos na ako. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.
Please do not forget, you are important. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are successful. You are blessed. You are loved. You are exceptional. And if there's anything else that you need, my name is Amor. Thank you very much and have a good night.